Cool. Well, thanks for joining us. And if you could just introduce who you are and where you're from.
Yep, I'm Louise Ferguson. I'm from Scotland, but I live in New Zealand at the moment. And I race for Intense Factory Racing. And yeah, we're kind of coming to the end of our season, so I've got one race left. But it's been a lot of fun.
Cool. Well, let's start with that. So you're originally from Scotland?
Yeah, Fort William. Yeah.
No way, you're from Fort William. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So how did you end up in Queenstown? It is Queenstown, yeah?
Yeah, Queenstown, yeah. Well, I don't know if you've done a Scottish winter before, but it can be a bit tricky.
I've done some racing here and it's pretty grim. I am from Wales, so I know a thing or two about grim weather. You get it pretty harsh, yeah.
Yes, I guess it's quite similar in a way. But yeah, just finished school and got into mountain biking, and I was kind of not sure exactly what I was going to do. And a couple of friends had been over to New Zealand, told me how great it was, and yeah, I got convinced.
And that was it. So what was that, 16, 17 then? Or a bit later on, did you do A levels and stuff? Or?
I did sixth year as well, so I did to the end of school. Yeah. And then started a degree. That's when I got into mountain biking. Okay. And then when I was coming to the end of that, so that's what I say is like the end of my kind of academic stuff. Yeah. It was 2019, and it was like coming to the end of summer. I didn't want to go into Scottish winter, and I did have plans to go somewhere, I just wasn't sure where. So I was saving up some money, and ended up booking some flights to Queenstown.
That's right. That's
cool. Just with the idea of going for the summer. Yeah. But then COVID happened whilst I was over there, and it was kind of lucky, unlucky, I don't know, but it all worked out.
Do you think the move to Queenstown like really upped your riding? Like, did you? Yeah. Obviously, it's a pretty epic place to be, right? There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a really good bike community there, and I think because of lockdown, I got to know everyone really quickly. Cool. So I was working in the bike park before we went into the first lockdown, and so I was seeing people all day, every day. Yeah. I was like, just fully immersed in it, and after work I'd always like ride, and it just kind of felt really welcoming. And
yeah, it sounds pretty dreamy, I'm not gonna lie.
It is good. Yeah, I think I'm biased because I've had such a good experience, but yeah, it is cool. It's super far away though, like 2 days on a flight. Yeah. So like when I first went, I was actually starting new. I'd never really left Fort William, to be honest. So I've been out to France, but never lived anywhere apart from there. And it's quite a small town. Everyone knows everyone. And I started to feel at home in Queenstown. So once I started to like bump into everyone in the shops and knew all the tracks that I that were good. And it kind of just escalated. So I ended up staying for I think it was 3 years. Okay. In the end, and then started racing World Cups. Well, came back over to Europe to race, which my first race was Fort William, which was really cool. I didn't qualify, but it was it was an amazing experience.
And that's kind of mad though, right? To go away and then your first race is back in like home soil.
Hometown,
yeah, that's crazy.
And it was the first time I'd seen all my friends and stuff for like 3 years. Yeah. So it was like, looking back on it, was obviously like really overwhelming, trying to catch up with everyone, and then having something like a World Cup where there's so much going on and so much learning involved. So I think I don't regret anything, and now I love Queenstown. So my original home is Fort William, but then I also feel really at home in Queenstown, and I go like back there.
Home. Yeah, that's super cool.
And when I finish the season, I'm just based in one place, so that's where I spend a lot of my time.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. So like, there's one big thing, like you're clearly a very fast downhill mountain biker.
I love it.
Yeah, but you're pretty good at the jumping and like, I guess, is it free racer, free rider, whatever? Yeah. How did that come about? Because when I think of Fort William, I don't necessarily think of jumps and pump tracks and dirt jumping. Yeah. So where's that come from? Because you're doing stuff like Hardline and all that stuff, and that's pretty full on.
It's really good fun, but it's definitely due to Queenstown. So
is it? Oh, yeah. Okay.
When I go into riding in Fort William, there's just like one style of track really, and I've got the Dudes of Hazard to thank for that.
Yeah.
They did so much of the digging there, and yeah, that's when I started to get obsessed with it. I would just ride all the stuff that they built. So it was like steep and wet in the woods, really rooty. Yeah. Like, and it was so sick. But there's just that kind of riding. Yeah. So when I moved to Queenstown, I discovered jumps properly, and yeah, they've got so much different kind of riding in a small place. So it was really good, and yeah, just keeps it really fun. So I wanted to come back and race World Cups, and I managed to get a Federation jersey to do that. But I also, yeah, just love mountain biking as a whole. So it's more than just racing downhill for me. Yeah. Like, that's where I want to put a lot of my energy and time at the moment.
Yeah, that's cool. It's like, so like, what we're talking, man, you're quite, I wouldn't say you're not new to downhilling, but like the World Cup scene, like how many seasons in you on the World Cups?
This is my 3rd season.
Is it? Wow.
So my first season was 2019 as a privateer, and I couldn't make it to all the races. Yeah. But then last year I managed to get on a team, which I was super lucky, and yeah, managed to do a full year. And every single race just feels like such a big learning curve. Yeah. And then this season I changed teams to Intense Factory Racing.
Yeah, how did that come about? Like, did Joe, you in chats? What was the deal?
Well, to be honest, I'm not very good at business, and it's never been something that I could imagine myself doing.
Fast downhill is not good at business. What's that about?
I know. Everyone's just like, I feel like we're all pretty behind with it, to be honest.
It's tough. No, let's be honest. It's like they're two very different things.
Well, Joe's one of the people who does it so well. So he chatted to me in Louise last year. Okay. We got in the same gondola together. We're having a bit of a yarn about racing and stuff, and I had no idea that he was thinking about making a team. Yeah. It was almost like an interview, and I didn't realize.
Yeah. So he kept it under wraps. It was impressive.
And even when he did hit me up at the end of the season about like, oh, like I'm gonna do this, I didn't think it would actually happen because it's such a big task. Yeah. Everyone sees the racing and results, but they don't see the hard work that goes into it. As a privateer or as someone running a team, it's like so many moving parts. Yeah, yeah. And then for him to also race himself, it's so impressive. Yeah. So I was just blown away by his ambition, and then he pulled through and managed to like come to me with a contract, and it wasn't an easy decision because I didn't want to leave Nuke Proof. Yeah. That's the first downhill bike I ever bought.
Yeah, sure, that's right. Yeah, Nuke Proof. That's a big deal though. So
I was sentimental feelings like towards Nuke Proof and all the other brands I worked with too, like SRAM and stuff. They helped me out when I didn't have any help at all. Yeah. So it was pretty tricky, but in the end, I had a chat with Nuke Proof and they wanted the best for me. And as it turned out, they they fell, I don't know what you call it, went bankrupt. Yeah. Not through any fault of their own, but just the industry, it came out of nowhere.
It's kind of worked out pretty good then.
Yeah, and I didn't want that for them. Like, they're such good people.
So sad, yeah.
So it was like, it all kind of worked out, kind of like the New Zealand thing. Like, you never know what's going to happen, and sometimes you just
got to go with it.
Yeah,
it seems to be working out.
That's cool. I just super fortunate and like just surrounded by really good people.
So what was it like then? Because I'm quite good friends with Cal and stuff like that, and it was a bit of a whirlwind. But next thing you know, I'm seeing amazing video clips of like the full team, bikes, kit, you name it. Like I'm like, I didn't even know this was happening. What was it like getting out? Because you went into America, right?
Went to California,
The whole team, was it? Yeah, pretty much?
Almost everyone. Yeah. My friend Casey is my mechanic from Queenstown. Oh, sick. So he didn't make it out. Okay. But only because we were chatting away about this team. And then it was like maybe 2 weeks before California was booked. But he was like, do you want to come to California? Like, we're gonna meet all the brands, you're gonna get your bikes and stuff. And I was just blown away. It was insane. It was so quick, the turnaround to getting it done. And I think Stout, like the head mechanic, he's so good. And like Joe's got him and got Ollie. That was my first proper introduction to Ollie Morris. And
the nicest guy in downhill.
Everyone just grafts so hard. So they just kind of brought it together super quick. And
what was it? So like, some of the clips of you out in Carl are just rad.
Yeah.
Just like straight on me in 10. Was like, how much time did you have on the bike before you were like filming?
Literally the first day. Like we got it, and then we just
like you gelled really quickly, like super playful, like sliding down ruts and stuff.
Oh, it was good fun. To be honest, it was like baptism of fire. We went to like this track, and it was super loose and steep, and like I hadn't like every component for me changed apart from the tires.
Yeah, wow.
So it was like a lot of new stuff, but just the way Joe spoke about all the brands gave me a bit of confidence to sign with him, because he wasn't like signing any component for money. It was more for performance, and then the money was it didn't actually, some of them I think he let go of a lot of options that would pay a lot more than just to have what he wanted. So yeah, I kind of put my trust in him. Ollie Stout, I know because he's Scottish. I met him at the SDAs. And then also the fact the team like let me have my choice of mechanics, so that was also a huge plus.
That's cool.
So yeah, I was super nervous flying out, and then after the first day I just started to it just felt like home. Like the bike wasn't that hard to get used to, and all the components worked really well. Nice. So yeah, I really couldn't, it was, and then going to meet Troy Lee and One Up, and there was just like
that's dream stuff, isn't it?
And
like,
HT,
that's pretty cool.
Just figuring out a lot more about the brands and feeling part of something, because that's what I felt like in Nukeproof, part of something bigger.
So I guess this is like the first time because Troy Lee are really into giving you like fresh kits at every race and all that.
Yeah.
So you've had like a different colour, and your World Champs custom kit is like unreal.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when they showed me the bike and the kit.
Were you involved in any of that, or was that kind of a surprise?
Yeah, no. So at the start of the season, they asked for a mood board of like different colours and anything that we kind of like, or so just to help them with kit stuff. And then they took that for World Champs and ran with it.
Was your mood board just flowers?
No, it actually wasn't. It was like there was one flower on the mood board, and I think they just kind of got to know me a bit over the season and realised that kind of suits me a bit better.
It's wicked. The bike and the kit is so good.
I felt like the absolute dawn at World Champs. Like everyone was telling me how nice my bike was and my kit, and I just I wish I could have taken everyone from the brands who made it happen and like let them hear all the compliments. Yeah, sure. Because it made me feel really special. But
see, does that give you like a bit of confidence when you're at the races, when people are like,
you look really
you're on point, like you look sick?
Yeah, it's just such a nice just makes the whole week really, really lovely, and just to feel like I'm in the right place, and I've got loads of people who care about me and brands that I want to do well for. I can tell that they value me, and that always
having like your own custom kit is pretty cool, isn't it? And your bike and like that.
Yeah, and I get to keep it forever, which is really special. Yeah, for sure. Because last year World Champs was super special for me, being in Fort William. Yeah. So that was a dream come true. Yeah. And then it was my best result last year as well.
Amazing. Okay.
So I really wanted to do well this year, and I didn't know if the team could make anything better for me. And the bike and the kit just suits me so much. So yeah, I'm super thankful for that. Yeah. But I wanted more. Like my race result was.
It was tough though, right? It was a lot of things changing.
Yeah, it was super fast as well. Yeah. I think that track, I love riding the track. I don't know if it suits me so much, but I gave it everything, and that's racing. Like it's kind of how it goes.
Next one, isn't it? Yeah, just keep going.
You can always learn like a lot from it.
So obviously the World Champs kit and all was amazing, but other than that, you've had a lot of other kits. Is there anyone which has been your favourite? Like, or is there one that stands out to you where you're like?
It's kind of tricky because it feels really good representing Troy Lee, because we met the owner and everyone's super passionate in the company. So like whenever they've sent us a fresh kit, it's like really exciting. It feels like Christmas. And I I know the original one we got for Fort William was red and it matched our bike. So that's a custom one, I'm pretty sure. So it's not, it's not for sale, but the Intense red. And then, the Troy Lee went together really well.
You guys won the best outfit at that one for sure. Yeah, it looked good.
And then the one that's like a highlighter yellow, that really represents Troy Lee because they just want to stand out and want everyone to be an individual. So initially I was like, wow, this is so bright. Like it's not, it's funny because my World Champs kit's yellow, but this is like almost luminous. And I was like, I feel like I'm glowing and also everyone's looking at me. So when we went to Leger, I raced that for the first time and I was really sick that week, which ended up, it was COVID, but I was like, just really run down and I was struggling a lot with practice. And so I only did a couple runs and like the first run I crashed and I got like my kit so muddy and it was so obvious that I just had a hugie. And so I was like, oh, like the kit's sick. But then I saw some videos and some clips and I was like, actually looks really good. And I could swap like rider and everyone from such a distance. It's like just so bright and stands out so much that I was like, that's actually pretty sick. And then it ended up being a mud race, so it was hilarious. Like, I love all the kit. My World Champs one is like the best.
It's
so
sick,
can't compare.
I've gone and had a look at it quite a few times over the house show, I gotta say. It's
good,
it's real nice.
The details, and I love riding. I've got into moto the last couple of years.
Is it? Okay.
And one of the things I put on the mood board was like an old retro moto kit. And they used
it,
that as well.
I can really see that. I was looking at the pants and how they'd like done the like white stripe down there, and it's like, that's so cool. I just want to race it all the time now. I didn't race it in Luneville only because it was so muddy. And I'm worried that I'll stay in it and I can't. Just to keep it mint.
If MSA was dry, I wouldn't be mad. And then I can run it again. So
awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Who in the, it can be female or male, female races, do you most want to be like?
Well, this is a really good question. Who do I most want to be like?
I tell you what, I'm gonna make it even harder. From a freeride point of view and from a race point of view.
I was just about to say that it's really tough because I respect all the women so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the women's field's got super competitive over the last couple of years. And it's just really nice to line up and feel like I've got to fight so hard to be in the top 10. Man. Like top 10 in the world, and it should be really hard. And I look at all the other women and there's attributes that they all have that I really want to like work towards.
So even it could like take elements from like create your perfect like rider.
I think Valley's super strong and on the bike, and she just gets after it. There's no excuses. Like she's just determined, and I love watching her race, and the style that she's got is sick on jams. But the way Tani rides, it just looks effortless. Like she moves on the bike so much, and everything just looks like light work. And what she's come through the last couple of years with concussion is really impressive. I feel like she doesn't get enough recognition for that. Like to be at the top and then pretty much go to the bottom and start over again and then come back up again. Because everyone just sees the results. And and it's easy. I think it's not easy. It's really hard to get to the top. But until you lose all of that and then have to rebuild, I feel like she's always pushing. And
so you're kind of like the mental fortitude of Tani and her flow and relaxed riding, but then also the aggression and like relentless pursuit to be the fastest from Valley.
From Valley. Style.
I get that. That would be pretty ideal, wouldn't it?
If I had those two. Because I'm not super aggressive. I feel like I'd love to be more aggressive, but then also just have that effortless riding style. Of Tani, so those two. But honestly, there's so many inspiring women in the sport. There's Rachel, who's just dominated and gone away to have a baby, and then she came back and won the first race. I was like, it couldn't have been any better. I honestly wanted her to beat me at that point. I was like, please just win. Like you need to prove everyone that just prove you can do this.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And she's, and then and freeride I'm surrounded by a group of really cool girls in Queenstown. So like some of my best friends that ride. There's like Robin Gooms. There's there's Haz.
She's unreal.
There's Vinny's style, like her whips, and then Casey Brown, and there's just too many to mention. But basically, they're all just pushing the sport so much, and I love riding with them and being inspired by them.
Cool.
And it's part of the reason why I really want to focus on downhill, because you have to give it 100%. But yeah, it's too much fun just riding bikes and doing everything else.
Do you find like doing both though, like takes the edge off one? Like it means like, you know, if racing's getting a bit much, like, well, I'll just go do some laps with Casey or whatever, and it just kind of, and the same goes for like, oh well, I sucked at that free ride comp, so I'll just go do some racing.
Yeah, it does keep things fresh, I think. And I love Crankworx for that, because it gives you like loads of different disciplines and avenues, and like, I'm a big fan of mountain biking in general. And
what is the draw to World Cup racing? Is it just that it is a World Cup? Because obviously you've got Hardline, you've got Crankworx.
It's not just that it's a World Cup, because I think that is, for a lot of people, World Cup's like top of the top. You get to race the best. Yeah. It is like the level of the riders there. Like, you know, I remember racing the best girls in the world, and it's nice to have that platform to do it. Yeah. But it's, for me, I think it's the progression and how, it's not how stressful it is, but just putting myself in the hardest race possible, and trying to like every time I go to a World Cup, I learn a bit more about myself and how I deal with stress, and and how to be a better racer. Sick. And Crankworx is sick. The tracks are good, but World Cup tracks, there's nothing like it when it gets to like the end of the week and you have to put down your one run, like win it or bin it. Like it's so rough, and there's nothing like that at the moment. But you can't really compare it to Hardline though, because Hardline I think is incredible too.
It's a whole different thing though.
Different mindset and different challenge. Yeah. So I am really keen for that as well. It's just, and then Crankworx, I don't know, I do want to do it all, and I have to like, sometimes prioritize. Like this season I had to prioritize World Cup racing over Hardline Wales and racing Crankworx, and that was a lot to do with the team. So I could see how much Joe, Ollie, Stout, like everyone's put into this team, and I felt after having a couple chats with them, it would be a bit selfish of me to race Hardline, risk injuries, and like there's a lot of unknowns there at the moment. Whereas the team really needs points. And
I get you. I hadn't even thought of that.
So but then I've had chats with Ollie since then about it, and I do regret like not doing it, but if I was put in the same position I would have to make the same call. So it's something that I don't want to compromise on, and next year as long as I get the invite, I'm definitely going to Hardline, because the team should be in a better position point wise. Cool. But I feel like I owed it to the team to prioritize them, and I signed a contract to say I was going to race World Cups. But if I can do both, then I 100% will.
So here's one for you. Rebel Rampage. Yeah. Women are doing it. It's the first one. If you got the invite, would you go?
So it's a tricky one.
Have you ever been?
I've been to Utah.
Have you?
I did formation, which is like.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay,
pre all of this happening.
Was this last year or the year before?
No, so last year got cancelled.
Oh, okay.
I did it the year before. Yeah. So I did it and I was blown away. Like the desert is incredible, so different riding. Like trying to deal with exposure. I
was gonna say.
Digging what you want to ride, that's also super different. And then how blind everything is. The terrain isn't like a World Cup at all. But
is it the kind of thing you can like follow someone in on, or is it more like you kind of just got to get the gauge on the speed and just
kind of you'd build your own line? So
of course, so it's not even
so you should well, I didn't have a lot of opportunities to follow, but it was like, I'm sure we could, like we all like were happy to ride each other's lines and stuff. But for me, it was just, opened up my eyes of what was possible. And I was super excited to go back, and then the next season, and then the event got cancelled. So then there was loads of chat about Red Bull Rampage potentially being for women as well. And it didn't happen. And then this year, women have been invited to Rampage. So it's such a sick opportunity for us to just get showcased, and then also to have that progression, because there's no way you can compare women to men at Rampage at the moment. No. But it's because we've never had that chance. Yeah. So we're going to go in, speaking not for all women, but I'm assuming we'll go in and, you know, there will be a huge skill imbalance. Yeah. But now we can actually start to close that gap. So I'm really excited to see it go down. And to answer your question, I got the invite to apply and I didn't. And
okay. Was that more because of a race focus or just didn't fit in with the schedule?
It clashes with MSA. So I would miss the first day of digging, the line choice day and the first day of digging. And I would struggle to be on the back foot at the start of the event. It would already be a huge task for me because I've just been putting more into downhill racing than free ride, like over the season. Yeah. So, and I have that experience from formation 2 years ago that you really need to get like your eye in with the exposure and also the terrain as well. It's an educated
decision, you know, like you know what's going down. That's
and it was funny because Joe was asking me, he's like, "Why are you not signing up for Rampage?" I'm like, "Bro, it's so different. You gotta put the time in. I feel like you need to go to the desert and feel comfortable there, and then get into the digging and stuff." So
you should sign up. You should do it.
Yeah.
And you should get Joe to go out and dig for you.
Yeah, I'll get him to dig and carry my bike up.
Yeah. Get the team to come out and dig for you, man. That'd be so cool.
I'm so excited for it. Like, I'll definitely sign up if we get the chance. It's just, last race of the season.
It's so funny because I don't know why. Because I know you're a racer, but I just see you as a free rider. I don't know what it is. And
I don't know. Because it's so hard to know how other people perceive me and what I've just. I think I definitely have been obsessed in the past with jumps and stuff. Like I really like when I feel a bit of progression, it's just like hard to not do it. And I do want to get back to that point. Like I learned a bunch of tricks like when I was in Queenstown.
Okay.
And so
you're really into like that side of it. It's not just like big jumps. It's like you like learning tricks and all, but like the freestyle element of it as well. That's mad.
It's just trying to balance it all because I've definitely more recently I've not tried anything in so long.
It's not in my mindset to go fast. You don't. It's a different thing, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm keen to get back into it actually. And when I go back to Queenstown, I'm gonna just do a little bit less racing in the off season and just have fun and ride jumps.
Do you ride hardtail and stuff, or is it more like bike park?
I love bike park.
I
love it. But I'll definitely get the hardtail out. That's one of the things I want to do is just like get into dirt jumping like properly and I just spend lots of time on two wheels and without a lot of pressure, without any pressure really.
Pretty nice hardtail on there.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's sick. They just I think they've brought it back.
Yeah.
But I actually saw someone riding one in Queenstown and I was like, that's nice.
One of them.
But I'll definitely highlight. Well, Rampage, I would love to do.
Sick.
It's just I can't do it this season, and I am really keen to go. So I'm looking at flights to try and get to Rampage after MSA and watch.
That's cool. But you're still gonna go out and have watch?
I'm hoping to. Yeah.
No way. That's rad. Okay.
Yeah. Before I go back to Queenstown, so I just want to be a part of it and be involved.
I gotta say, your life sounds rubbish.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I feel really lucky to get to do this. And I know who maybe is a fan of the sport thinks racing's the dream.
Yeah, that's tough. No.
But then when you see what goes into it and the top people and say Tani and everyone, the hardship that they have to go through to make it work and the pressure you put on yourself, it's it is a dream job. It's just it's just tough sometimes.
Just the travel alone though, right? People just don't see that.
You don't get I get to meet loads of new people and get to travel around with some epic humans, but there's loads of people I don't see for half a year because I choose to go and do this. So it's definitely a compromise, but it's one that's like a privilege. And then even we've been talking about me choosing between different events and how I struggle with that.
Yeah.
But it's like a good problem to have.
I was gonna say
which race I want to go do or which event, and there's too many good options, I really hope Hardline progresses into a series.
I think a lot of people would like to see that.
It's so much fun. Like the vibe is completely different to World Cups.
Yeah.
You feel like part of a community, and then the progression, like they're more interested in the progression of the event and of the sport than just about, you know, who went fastest.
Yeah.
So it's got a completely different appeal than just World Cups.
The whole lead up to it is like it's almost as good as the final event. You know? It's
and then it's like a bonus. You get to race and put down your best performance. And I feel like that's almost like not an afterthought because we are there to race, but just like getting through the features is such an achievement. And seeing what they can build and be creative and what they can push everyone to do.
It's mixed racing and free ride. And, you know, you've got it's technical, it's hard, but then you've also got big jumps as well. It takes a different type of rider, I think, you know, and that's where you like I see you like you're a specialist in that in many ways.
There's definitely people at World Cups who you don't see like their best talent because it doesn't fit into the type of racetrack it is, or maybe they get mechanical or something.
You know, your likes of Bruni.
Yeah.
He won't go anywhere near Hardline.
Well, it's a lot of risk, and he's obviously so focused on World Cup downhill. But there's other people like Matteo and Theo Erlingsson as well. Yeah. And well, there's so many, but like there's loads of racers at the World Cups who have like insane style and are so like hectic on a bike. Yeah. But like a World Cup doesn't really show that. You just see the result, and you know if they don't qualify, they're not even mentioned. Yeah. But then at Hardline, it's like once you get the invite, they're like you get to see the style they've got on the bike, and just they're.
That is so true. Like Hardline basically gives a platform for the entire field. You know, it's not just you're not just tuning into the top 10 or whatever. It's like it's actually anyone who drops in gets it.
Up here, like as a rider, not just as a racer. Like they're really good and talented, and you get to. There's more of like a storytelling part of that as well. Like you get to really know people and.
That's cool. And it's a mixed bag, isn't it?
There's loads of different
people again. Like.
Yeah, loads of different types of riders. From loads of different backgrounds, and. Yeah, it's good. I'm a big fan. I think it's sick. And also I've just been loving like figuring out the progression with other women at Hardline. So it's feel really lucky to be part of it, and I just want to keep going with that. And it's such a welcoming group. Everyone's so supportive and has like a good actually cares about each other, and it's really fun. So
awesome. Well, thank you very much for sitting and chatting. As I said, we could probably chat for another hour, but good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see you at more Hardline and
I'm excited
hopefully Rampage at some point.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because I'm excited to get back to Tassie this year after my race run last year. So but no, it's good. Thanks for having me, and
no worries.
Yeah, I hope to see you next year.
Yeah, I reckon so.
I'm Lou, and that's me finished chatting at the Saddleback House Show. Thanks for tuning in.